Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. Let's get you breaking news that's now coming in. And this is from Prayagraj, from the Allahabad High Court, which is hearing the case as far as a survey in the Gyanvapi Mosque complex goes. We're now understanding that the verdict is going to be pronounced on the 3rd of August, which means until then, the Archeological Survey of India cannot enter the premises and conduct the survey that was granted to them. Remember, on 4th of August is when the next hearing was supposed to take place in the Supreme Court. One day before that is when the Allahabad High Court would be hearing the case again. The verdict will be coming out then. Both sides have made their arguments as to why the survey should go on as far as the petitioner side goes. But remember, it was the Muslim side that had approached the Allahabad High Court to stop this particular survey. For now, the survey has been stopped. There is going to be no survey until the 3rd of August. That's the latest that we are gathering as far as the Gyanvapi Mosque survey goes. Let's listen into some reactions coming in.
Yes. जो मुस्लिम पिटीशन थी उसमें जजमेंट रिजर्व कर लिया है।
और आपकी सबसे बड़ी दलील क्या थी विष्णु जी? आज
सबसे बड़ी दलील ये थी कि जो
सर कैमरा देख के सर थोड़ा सा लगाने वाला भी कोई हाँ तो फोन ना कोई बात नहीं
कैमरा पीछे करो नहीं ले पा रहे।
Ananya Bhatnagar, my colleague, joining us, getting us the latest. Ananya, the arguments have concluded as far as both sides are concerned. The verdict, though, has not come out. It is going to be coming out on the 3rd. Before I cut across, let's listen into Vishnu Jain, the petitioner's counsel.
जारी करना चाहिए और डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट के ऑर्डर में कोई इन्फॉर्मिटी नहीं, कोई गलती नहीं है। माननीय न्यायालय ने आज दोनों पक्षों को सुनने के बाद इस मामले में अपना फैसला सुरक्षित रखा है और फैसला 3 अगस्त को सुनाया जाएगा। देखिए, ये तो मैं तो सिर्फ देखिए अपनी सबमिशंस रख सकता हूँ कोर्ट में। सहमत थे कि असहमत थे वो तो जब जजमेंट आएगा तब पता चले।
ASI का रुख क्या था आज कोर्ट में?
नहीं, ASI ने अपना एक डिटेल्ड एफिडेविट फाइल किया है। आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया के एडिशनल डायरेक्टर भी आज कोर्ट में मौजूद थे। उन्होंने भी डिटेल्ड सर्वे एफिडेविट फाइल किया जिसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि बिना स्ट्रक्चर को क्षति पहुंचाए हुए ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज कंडक्ट की जाएगी।
और जो फावड़ी वहां पर दिखाएगी, फोटो दिखाएगी जिसमें कि फावड़ी थे
जी,
फावड़ी, उसका क्या
नहीं, कोर्ट ने कहा कि इसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, इसकी कोई एविडेंटरी वैल्यू नहीं है। मुस्लिम पक्ष का यही कहना था कि वहां पे कमीशन ना जारी किया जाए और वहां कमीशन जारी किया जाएगा तो स्ट्रक्चर को डैमेज पहुंचेगा। तो वहां पे उस समय एडिशनल डायरेक्टर साहब ने यह भी बताया कि हमारा एफिडेविट बहुत क्लियर है कि बिना स्ट्रक्चर को क्षति पहुंचाए हुए ये सर्वे हम कंडक्ट करेंगे। आज माननीय हाईकोर्ट ने इस मामले में अपना फैसला सुरक्षित रखा है और अब इसकी अगली जो फैसले सुनाने की तारीख है वो 3 अगस्त है।
That was Vishnu Jain. Ananya Bhatnagar, my colleague, continues to be with us now. Ananya, the arguments were made from both sides today. The verdict has been reserved. It's going to come out on the 3rd. But if you could take our viewers through what arguments were made in court from both sides.
Well, definitely the Muslim side was trying to persuade the court that, this whole re-recognition of, in fact, religious characteristic of a place is barred under Section 3 of the of the Places of Worship Act and should not be carried out. This is an exercise and there is a excavation that has to take place. There would be digging that would be done which would damage the particular structure there. But opposing these submissions, the Hindu side and also, of course, the Archeological Survey of India, who has to actually conduct this survey at the end of the day, is has stated that, no kind of a damage would be done. And in fact, Vishnu Shankar Jain, who was appearing for the Hindu side, clearly argued that there is no bar under Section 3 to rejudge the religious characteristic of a particular place. But he also argued that, this is not the stage where the Places of Worship Act should be invoked in. He said that this is just to determine as to what was there. This is just a survey that is being carried out. The suits would stay in its position. The suits would be there. This is just a thing of evidence that is there, just a kind of evidence that would be collected. And in fact, the Varanasi court had dealt with all of these arguments, is what Vishnu Shankar Jain also said, that all of these arguments with regards to the Places of Worship Act, with regards to the excavation taking place, Vishnu said that these orders are, in very, very correct order. In fact, the order of the Varanasi court carefully and very carefully drafted the directions for in fact the survey to be conducted. It was said that no kind of excavation should be carried out, and in fact the ASI, the Archeological Survey of India too, has admitted before the court time and again, not only at the Allahabad High Court but also at the Supreme Court, that no excavation would be carried out in this particular case. At the most, what would be done is a little brushing of that particular structure. No kind of a scratching even would be done to this particular structure, as it was pointed out by the ASI expert who was in the court today. And very clearly, the court has now reserved its order. They would be pronounced on the 3rd of August, and the fate of both these sides would be decided on August 3, whether or not the survey would be allowed by the High Court, whether in fact there would be a need to approach the Supreme Court in this particular case. All of this would be answered on August 3, but definitely another important question that emerges out is whether there would be certain breather time that would be granted to either of the sides to actually approach in fact the Supreme Court in this particular regard. Is something that would be granted by the court or not would be answered on August 3 when the court would be pronouncing its order. Remember that the hearing is continued for over a day and a half, and the court has examined each and every aspect to the very little that even the definition of excavation was asked to the Archeological Survey of India experts as to what would they be conducting. An affidavit was filed by the ASI as to how would they be conducting this particular survey, and definitely now the orders, the fate of this whole Gyanvapi survey would be decided on August 3rd. Poonam.
Yes, Ananya, do stay on with me. Lawyer of the Hindu side, Madan Mohan, now joining us here on this broadcast. Madan Mohan जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए यहाँ CNN News 18 पे। फैसला आया है इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट का। उन्होंने कहा है ASI की सर्वे नहीं होगी 3 अगस्त तक। जो मुस्लिम पक्ष की आर्ग्यूमेंट्स थी, उन्होंने कहा था कि एक्सकवेशन होगी, उससे डैमेज को स्ट्रक्चर को डैमेज हो सकता है, इसीलिए ASI सर्वे नहीं होना चाहिए। क्या आपको लगता है चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट को उन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स पे कोई मेरिट लगा, इसीलिए उन्होंने ASI सर्वे के जो हॉल्ट है वो एक्सटेंड किया गया है?
इसमें ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, केवल आंतरिक ये फैसला रिजर्व कर लिया गया। और इस बीच में माननीय न्यायालय ने दोनों पक्षों को विधिवत सुना, जिसमें हमारे पक्ष से यानी हिंदू पक्ष से विधिवत आर्गुमेंट दिया गया है, इसलिए चिंता की कोई बात नहीं है। जी।
तो ये आपके लिए सेटबैक नहीं है, आप कह रहे हैं?
जी 3 तारीख को अवश्य फैसला हमारे पक्ष में आएगा, उससे हम आश्वस्त हैं।
जी आर्ग्यूमेंट्स दोनों तरफ के हो चुके हैं मदन मोहन जी। अभी सिर्फ सुनवाई होनी है, सिर्फ वर्डिक्ट आना है 3 तारीख को। उसके बाद अगर आपके पक्ष में फैसला नहीं आता तो क्या आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे उसके बाद?
निसंदेह ये हमारे लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट का रास्ता खुला हुआ है। जी
मदन मोहन जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए here on CNN News 18. That was one of the lawyers of the Hindu side expressing confidence that their arguments will find merit in the court of law and that the Allahabad High Court will pronounce the verdict in their favor come the 3rd of August. But all of that remains to be seen. It's in the realm of what the court decides to do. We of course are not preempting which side the verdict will go. Remember, this is on the 3rd of August when the next hearing is going to take place, when the verdict will be pronounced. Ananya, my colleague, continues to be with us, but reactions coming in from Prayagraj. Let's listen.
ऑनरेबल इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने इस मामले में अपना जजमेंट
आप जो बोल रहे हैं देश सुन रहा है विष्णु जी।
एक मिनट अभिषेक भाई ये भी पकड़ लीजिए। हम पकड़ लेंगे, लाओ ना, सेकंड राउंड हो जाएगा। बोलिए आप, बोलिए क्या हुआ?
आज दोनों पक्षों को सुनने के बाद डिटेल्ड बहस हुई 3:30 बजे से लेके शाम के 5 बजे तक, और ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट ने दोनों पक्षों को सुनने के बाद अपना फैसला सुरक्षित रखा है। और ये फैसला 3 अगस्त को सुनाया जाएगा, और तब तक के लिए सर्वे पे रोक है। इस फैसले को जो ऑनरेबल इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट की सिंगल बेंच है वो 3 अगस्त को सुनाएगी, और तब तक के लिए सर्वे पे रोक लगाई गई है। ऑनरेबल इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने आज जो मुस्लिम पक्ष की पिटीशन थी उसमें जजमेंट रिजर्व कर लिया है।
और आपकी सबसे बड़ी दलील क्या थी विष्णु जी?
देखिए, हमारी सबसे बड़ी दलील ये थी कि जो तथाकथित मस्जिद की वेस्टर्न वॉल है वो ये कह रही है कि ये हिंदू मंदिर की दीवारें हैं, और जो कमीशन की कार्रवाई के दौरान 6, 7 मई और 14, 15 और 16 मई को चीजें हमें मिली थी, वो सारी बातें हमने कोर्ट के सामने रखी। और जो कमीशन किसी भी स्टेज पे जारी हो सकता है, इसके लिए केस लॉज भी रिलाई किए।
ये चीजें कैसे डिसाइड होंगी? आपका जवाब मैं देता हूँ। देखिए, ASI की टीम तो सीधे कह रही है कि हम जो साइंटिफिक सर्वे करेंगे उसमें कहीं कुछ नुकसान नहीं होना है ना? कहीं कुछ नुकसान नहीं, कहीं कुछ नहीं।
क्या दिखाया आप लोगों ने प्रूफ के तौर पे?
फोटोग्राफ्स तो क्लियर है ना, उसमें प्रूफ क्या दिखाना है, वो दिख ही रहा है। जो सर्वे हुआ है वो सभी फोटोग्राफ ASI की जो एडवोकेट हैं उन्होंने जो 21 के बाद जो 23 को जो सर्वे हुआ था वो फोटोग्राफ भी कोर्ट के सामने उन्होंने दिया है और प्रस्तुत किया है।
कर दिए जो फोटोग्राफ खींची गई हैं वो दिखाई गई हैं या जो ऑलरेडी पहले से थी जो पहले के प्रूफ के तौर पे?
देखिए, मेरे तरफ से कोर्ट को दिखाया गया है डायस पे फोटोग्राफ्स। हालांकि कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये सब एविडेंस के लिए आप रखिए, आपके ट्रायल कोर्ट में काम आएंगे, लेकिन फिलहाल जो है ASI की तरफ से भी फोटोग्राफ प्रस्तुत कर दिया गया है। और ऐसे में अब चीजें स्टेब्लिश है। हमारी जो डिमांड थी वो हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि वो फुलफिल होंगे। ASI सर्वे होगा। फिलहाल जजमेंट रिजर्व रखा गया है। हाँ, फोटोग्राफ दिखा दीजिए। ASI की तरफ से जो सर्वे वाली फोटोग्राफ है वो कोर्ट को
दिखाई जा रही है। ये आप तस्वीरें देख सकते हैं।
तस्वीरें जो आज चीफ जस्टिस को दिखाई गई हैं वो तस्वीरें दिखा रहे हैं आपको। ये तस्वीरें आप देख सकते हैं।
क्या है ये
यही
दूरी बना लीजिए यार, एकदम लगे हैं।
यही मस्जिद
आपने दिखाई थी।
हाँ सर, थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करिए।
ये तस्वीरें आपने ये जो है यही हमारा मंदिर है आदि विश्वेश्वर, और इस पे गुम्बद।
Shifting focus now to more breaking news coming in, and this is over the situation at the line of actual control. We're now learning that the MEA, the External Affairs Ministry in India, has come out and confirmed that Chinese President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi did speak about these border issues and came to a consensus when they met in November in Indonesia on the sidelines of the G20 summit. The confirmation there coming to the fore from the MEA, as I said. Listen in.
I should have clarified, that is my statement. So let me repeat again for clarification. During the Bali G20 summit last year, Prime Minister and President Xi Jinping, at the conclusion of the dinner hosted by the Indonesian President, exchanged courtesies and spoke of the need to stabilize our bilateral relations. So that's the statement I'm making. I think Foreign Secretary did mention, maybe he didn't mention the second part of it. He did talk about exchanging courtesies, and I think there was the general discussion or spoke of the need for stabilize our bilateral relationship or relations. And how we see that, I explained that I'm sure you would have picked up.
Now that confirmation coming to the fore from the External Affairs Ministry as far as the Bali meeting between President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi went. Remember, the LAC issue between the two countries and the unilateral decision of changing status quo of China has been a sticking point. There is disengagement that's taking place in multiple places, but the discussions on military level talks that are still going on, there are certain places the sticking points still remain, which is why this issue has come up. Remember, this also comes at a time when NSA Ajit Doval on the sidelines of the BRICS summit raised this issue with China. Abhishek, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details. Now, Abhishek, this confirmation that has come to the fore from the External Affairs Ministry is in the backdrop of not just NSA Doval's meeting with the Chinese on the sidelines of the BRICS summit, but also the fact that China 2 days ago claimed that there was a consensus between the two countries as far as the border issue went.
Oh, of course, and in the light of that Chinese statement, the External Affairs Ministry was trying to clarify that the two leaders did engage beyond exchanging courtesies, but they talked about the general overall relationship and how to keep it in a better place and how to make it better. But they did not. MEA statement does not mention that the two leaders did talk about the border issue like the Chinese statement has. But now we know that since last 8 months or so, he hasn't said anything on the kind of talk that beyond exchanging courtesies. So clearly, this is something that is sort of new, that the leaders, when they were engaging during those gala dinners, we had seen those videos where Prime Minister Modi went up to Xi Jinping and they had a few moments together. And of course, that was the time when India was also trying to get the presidency of G20. So clearly, Prime Minister Modi's intent was to create an atmosphere where all world leaders would come to attend the G20 conference happening next year in India. And in that context, it was believed to be a gesture that Prime Minister extended to Xi Jinping, the Chinese premier at that time. Now we also know that the two leaders did discuss about stabilizing bilateral issues and bilateral relationship, and we know what is the thorny points are in the bilateral issue, and that is the border tension that has been ever since the Galwan clash has happened. And External Affairs Minister Shankar has also time and again highlighted this fact that until and unless peace returns to that border issue, until and unless peace and tranquility returns to the borders, a normalcy in India-China relationship cannot be achieved.
Right, that message was sent by the Prime Minister as well, that message being sent on the sidelines of the BRICS summit by N.S.A. Doval to the Chinese Foreign Minister as well. India talking tough as always as far as China's unilateral changing of status quo along the line of actual control. For the moment, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Shifting focus now to back home and the kind of message that the Prime Minister is sending to his political rivals. And it started with Rajasthan today. The Prime Minister was in that poll-bound state just a short while ago. There were several developmental works that he inaugurated there. But the main focus in that election-bound state for the Prime Minister was, of course, taking aim at the Congress and at the head of the party in that state, which is the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot, raking up several issues as far as corruption went, as far as the red diary revelation of one of his own MLAs was concerned. The Prime Minister raised questions against the conduct of Ashok Gehlot and the Congress party in Rajasthan. Several barbs, several attacks were exchanged by the Prime Minister against Ashok Gehlot and the Congress party as a whole. Listen in to those comments.
आपको याद होगा कि कांग्रेस के शासनकाल में सीमी यानी स्टूडेंट इस्लामिक मूवमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बना था। नाम में इंडिया था, लेकिन मिशन इंडिया को आतंकी हमलों से बर्बाद करने का था। जब इसके कुकर्म सामने आए तो सीमी पे बैन किया गया और ये बैन हुआ तो फिर नया नाम लेकर आए। उन्होंने भी नाम बदला, पीएफआई। सीमी बन गया पीएफआई यानी पॉपुलर फ्रंट ऑफ इंडिया। नाम नया, नाम में फिर इंडिया, लेकिन काम वही पुराना। आज हम समृद्ध भारत बनाने का संकल्प लेकर चले। जैसे गांधी जी ने क्विट इंडिया का मंत्र दिया था, वैसे ही आज का मंत्र है भ्रष्टाचार क्विट इंडिया, भ्रष्टाचार छोड़ो इंडिया, परिवारवाद क्विट इंडिया, परिवारवाद और देश को विकसित भारत बनाएगा। आपने लाल डायरी के बारे में सुना है ना? कहते हैं इस लाल डायरी में कांग्रेस सरकार के काले कारनामे दर्ज है। लोग कह रहे हैं कि लाल डायरी के पन्ने खुले तो अच्छे अच्छे निपट जाएंगे। कांग्रेस के बड़े से बड़े नेताओं की इस लाल डायरी का नाम सुनते ही बोलती बंद हो रही है। कांग्रेस ने राजस्थान में सरकार चलाने के नाम पर सिर्फ लूट की दुकान चलाई है, झूठ का बाजार सजाया है। कांग्रेस का मतलब ही है लूट की दुकान, झूठ का बाजार। गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल, मंत्रिमंडल में मेरे सहयोगी श्री ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया जी, पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री भाई विजय रूपाणी जी, सी आर पाटिल जी, साथियों, अभी विजय भी मेरे कान में बता रहे थे और मैं भी नोटिस कर रहा हूं कि राजकोट में कार्यक्रम हो, छुट्टी का दिवस न हो, रजा ना होए, अन्य बपोरनो समय होए, રાજકોટ માં કોઈ આ સમયે સભા કરવાનું ન વિચારે, ત્યાં આટલી વિશાળ જનમેદની આજે રાજકોટે રાજકોટના બધા વિક્રમ તોડી નાખ્યા છે. નહીં તો વર્ષોથી અમે જોઈએ કે સાંજે 8 વાગ્યા પછી ઠીક રહેશે ભાઈ, અને રાજકોટને તો બપોરે સુવા ટાઈમ જોઈએ પાછો. आज राजकोट के साथ साथ पूरे सौराष्ट्र और गुजरात के लिए बड़ा दिन है. लेकिन प्रारंभ में मैं उन परिवारों के प्रति अपनी संवेदना व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं जिन्हें प्राकृतिक आपदाओं के चलते काफी नुकसान उठाना पड़ा है. कुछ दिन पहले ही साइक्लोन आया था और फिर बाढ़ ने भी बहुत तबाही मचाई. संकट के इस समय में एक बार फिर जनता और सरकार ने साथ मिलकर इसका मुकाबला किया है. मैं सभी प्रभावित परिवारों का जीवन जल्द से जल्द सामान्य हो, इसके लिए भूपेंद्र भाई की सरकार हर संभव प्रयास कर ही रही है. केंद्र सरकार भी राज्य सरकार को जिस भी सहयोग की जरूरत है उसे पूरा कर रही है. भाइयों और बहनों, बीते वर्षों में राजकोट को हमने हर प्रकार से आगे बढ़ते देखा है. अब राजकोट की पहचान सौराष्ट्र के ग्रोथ इंजन के तरफ भी हो रही है. यहां इतना कुछ है, उद्योग धंधे हैं, बिजनेस है, संस्कृति है, खान पान है, लेकिन एक कमी महसूस होती थी और आप सभी भी बार बार मुझे बताते रहते थे और वो कमी भी आज पूरी हो गई है. अभी कुछ देर पहले जब मैं नए बने एयरपोर्ट पर था तो आपके इस सपने के पूरे होने की खुशी मैंने भी महसूस की. और मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, राजकोट है जिसने मुझे बहुत कुछ सिखाया. मुझे पहली बार विधायक बनाया. मेरी राजनीतिक यात्रा की शुरुआत उसको हरी झंडी दिखाने का काम राजकोट ने किया. और इसलिए राजकोट का मुझ पर कर्ज हमेशा बना रहता है और मेरी भी कोशिश है कि उस कर्ज को कम करता चलूं. आज राजकोट को नया और बड़ा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट मिल चुका है. अब राजकोट से देश के साथ साथ दुनिया के अनेक शहरों के लिए भी सीधी फ्लाइट संभव हो पाएगी. इस एयरपोर्ट से यात्रा में तो आसानी होगी ही, इस पूरे क्षेत्र के उद्योगों को भी बहुत लाभ होगा. और जब मैं मुख्यमंत्री था शुरुआती दिन थे, ज्यादा अनुभव तो नहीं था। और एक बार मैंने कहा था ये तो मेरा मिनी जापान बन रहा है। तब बहुत लोगों ने मजाक उड़ाई थी मेरी, लेकिन आज वो शब्द आपने सच कर करके दिखा दिए हैं। साथियों, यहां के किसानों के लिए भी अब फल सब्जियों को देश विदेश की मंडियों तक भेजना आसान हो जाएगा। यानी राजकोट को सिर्फ एक एयरपोर्ट नहीं, बल्कि इस पूरे क्षेत्र के विकास को नई ऊर्जा देने वाला, नई उड़ान देने वाला एक पावर हाउस मिला है। साथियों, आज यहां सौनी योजना के तहत अनेक प्रोजेक्ट्स का लोकार्पण भी हुआ। इन प्रोजेक्ट्स के पूरा होने से सौराष्ट्र के दर्जनों गांवों के किसानों को सिंचाई और पीने का पानी उपलब्ध हो पाएगा। इसके अलावा भी राजकोट के विकास से जुड़े अनेक प्रोजेक्ट्स का लोकार्पण आज यहां करने का अवसर मिला है। मैं इन सभी परियोजनाओं के लिए आप सभी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, बीते 9 वर्षों में केंद्र सरकार ने समाज के हर वर्ग, हर क्षेत्र के जीवन को आसान बनाने के लिए काम किया है। हम गुड गवर्नेंस की, सुशासन की गारंटी देकर आए हैं। आज हम उस गारंटी को पूरा करके दिखा रहे हैं। हमने गरीब हो, दलित हो, पिछड़े हो, आदिवासी हो, सबके जीवन को बेहतर बनाने के लिए निरंतर काम किया। हमारी सरकार के प्रयासों से आज देश में गरीबी तेजी से कम हो रही है। अभी हाल में जो रिपोर्ट आई है वो कहती है कि हमारी सरकार के 5 साल में 13.5 करोड़ लोग गरीबी से बाहर निकले हैं। यानी आज भारत में गरीबी से बाहर निकलकर एक न्यू मिडिल क्लास, नए मध्यम वर्ग का सृजन हो रहा है। इसलिए हमारी सरकार की प्राथमिकताओं में मिडिल क्लास भी है, न्यू मिडिल क्लास भी है, एक प्रकार से पूरा मध्यम वर्ग है। साथियों, आप याद कीजिए 2014 से पहले मध्यम वर्ग की एक बहुत आम शिकायत क्या होती थी? लोग कहते थे कनेक्टिविटी कितनी खराब है, हमारा कितना समय आने जाने में बर्बाद हो जाता है। लोग कहीं बाहर देश से आते थे, बाहर की फिल्मों को देखते थे, टीवी पे दुनिया की अपनी नजर जाती थी, तो उनके मन में सवाल उठते थे, सोचते थे कि हमारे देश में कब ऐसा होगा, कब ऐसे सड़कें बनेगी, कब ऐसे एयरपोर्ट बनेंगे। स्कूल, दफ्तर आने जाने में परेशानी, व्यापार कारोबार करने में परेशानी, कनेक्टिविटी का देश में यही हाल था। हमने बीते 9 वर्षों में इस परेशानी को दूर करने का हर संभव प्रयास किया है। 2014 में सिर्फ 4 शहरों में मेट्रो नेटवर्क था। आज देश के 20 से ज्यादा शहरों में मेट्रो नेटवर्क पहुंच चुका है। आज देश के 25 अलग अलग रूट्स पर वंदे भारत जैसी आधुनिक ट्रेनें चल रही है। 2014 में देश में 70 के आसपास एयरपोर्ट हुआ करते थे, अब इनकी संख्या भी बढ़कर के डबल से भी ज्यादा पहुंच चुकी है। हवाई सेवा के विस्तार ने भारत के एयरलाइन सेक्टर को दुनिया में नई ऊंचाई दी है। आज भारत की कंपनियां लाखों करोड़ रुपए के नए विमान खरीद रही है। कहीं पर एक साइकिल नहीं आ जाए, एक गाड़ी नहीं आ जाए, स्कूटर नया आ जाए तो चर्चा होती है। आज हिंदुस्तान में 1000 नए विमानों का ऑर्डर बुक है और संभावना है आने वाले दिनों में 2000 विमान के ऑर्डर की। और आपको याद है, मुझे तो याद है, गुजरात चुनाव के समय मैंने आपको कहा था वो दिन दूर नहीं जब गुजरात एरोप्लेन भी बनाएगा। आज गुजरात इस दिशा में तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है। भाइयों और बहनों, ईज ऑफ लिविंग, क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ हमारी सरकार की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकताओं में से एक है। पहले देश के लोगों को किस किस तरह की परेशानी से गुजरना होता था, ये भी हम भूल नहीं सकते। बिजली पानी का बिल भरना हो तो लाइन, अस्पताल में इलाज करना है तो लंबी लाइन, बीमा और पेंशन लेना है तो भी भरपूर समस्याएं, टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करना है तो भी मुसीबतों से गुजरना। हमने डिजिटल इंडिया से इन सभी समस्याओं का समाधान दिया। बैंक जाकर काम कराने में पहले कितना समय और ऊर्जा लग जाती थी, आज आपका बैंक आपके मोबाइल फोन पर है। ये भी कईयों को याद नहीं होगा कि पिछली बार बैंक कब गए थे, जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ रही है। साथियों, आप वो दिन भी याद करिए जब टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करना भी बड़ी चुनौती हुआ करता था। इसके लिए किसी को ढूंढो, यहां जाओ, वहां दौड़ो, यही सब कुछ हुआ करता था। आज कुछ ही समय में आप आसानी से ऑनलाइन रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं।
Jointly destroyed many bunkers, both hill and valley, and we will continue to destroy. We will not allow any kind of bunker in the hills, either in the valley. Thank you.
Kamalika, my colleague, joining us, getting us the latest on ground. Kamalika, the Chief Minister there allaying fears, saying that the situation is getting better, but also talking about how this issue has now spread beyond the borders of Manipur into other states.
And the big question is, he has lashed out on the Chief Minister of Mizoram. He has said that Honorable Zoramthangma does not have any right to, as a Chief Minister, to go into a rally. And he has also questioned that how come the Chief Minister of Mizoram gets involved in issues of Manipur. So it is clearly now not only the case of Manipur, now it is also clearly seen that the Manipur Chief Minister is hitting out in his counterpart in Mizoram, and he's saying that he does not have any right to interfere into Manipur. That is another very big point in his interview when he spoke to us, with us exclusively, that that in no way Mizoram CM can get into this thing. So this is a very big statement by the Chief Minister of Manipur, where he says to CNN News 18 that he questions that how Zoramthangma, being the Chief Minister of Mizoram, gets himself involved into Manipur affairs. Can any other Chief Minister do it? And he has also reached out to a couple of ministers in Mizoram. He tried to reach out to Zoramthangma, that's what he told us. So it's a very big statement, because things were like that in Mizoram, this rally took place. Some of the Métis of who stays in Mizoram, they were evacuated to Imphal. All these things were going. Amid all these things, this fight is now clear, and the fight is not in Manipur, but the fight is also now between, obviously the Manipur Chief Minister lashing out to Zoramthangma is a very big point.
And when you asked him about whether he had spoken to his Mizoram counterpart, the Chief Minister Zoramthangma, he said he hadn't been able to get in touch with him. This all comes in the backdrop of the comments that were made 2 days ago by the Chief Minister of Mizoram, where he said that a temporary painkiller is not enough. We need a permanent solution, and the centre needs to look into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And there where he is trying to say, the Biren Singh is trying to say that who is he to make such comments? If something happens in Mizoram, then the Manipur Chief Minister will not speak on that. So why is he speaking on that? That is the thing. On the other hand, still the big question is so many arms, so many ammunition, so many checkposts, so many bunkers by civilians. That tough question was also asked by CNN News 18 to Biren Singh, where he said that the central and the state government, they're trying to dismantle all these bunkers and checkposts. But the fact remains that on ground in Manipur, there are various checkposts that have been made by civilians. So one big thing, definitely, Manipur CM lashing out on the Mizoram CM because of this rally and the fact that the Chief Minister himself was there in the rally. Second important thing is obviously this bunkers and this arms. What is the CM doing in it? That was the big question which we asked to him, and his answer was this. And along with that, another big thing which came up is definitely he's trying to make some legislative committee, has made some legislative committee. They will try to reach out, but things are not okay in ground. Though there is no untoward incident, but there was this firing yesterday in More that he mentioned. But obviously this exclusive interview which we did with the Biren Singh, the big statement coming out from the Manipur CM is that he directly lashes out, he directly hits out to Zoramthangma, the Mizoram CM.
And it's a super exclusive. It's an interview with the Chief Minister of Manipur, N. Biren Singh. CNN News 18's Komalika Sengupta has spoken with the Chief Minister of Manipur even as the state remains on edge. The Chief Minister there going on to say that the Mizoram CM should not have interfered in the issue of Manipur, and that he has spoken to his counterpart from Mizoram to ensure that there is no panic, there is no fear, and most of all, there is no fear-mongering.
There has been protest in Aizawl. There has been incidents in More. Manipur still is not normal. We have with us the Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh Ji. Sir, when will Shanti, when will peace come in Manipur, and why peace is an unknown thing now in Manipur?
No, you see, Kamalka, peace is almost returning. You know, last 10-20 days, no unwanted incident was taken place except yesterday's incident in More and Phagakau area. So, you know, some groups are always trying to keep Manipur unboiled. But we, the people, we, the government, are trying to restore normalcy. But almost 80-90% has returned normalcy, I believe. And I'm trying my best with the blessing of the Honorable PM Modi ji and Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji and other central leaders. I'm trying my best for reconciliation talk with the communities which are engaging. And yesterday also, I have a long meeting with my legislature colleagues, and we unofficially form a committee to sort out and to meet the both sides so that normalcy can be restored as early as possible.
Sir, Aizawl mein there have been protests, supporting the Kuki community. What do you have to say on that? That there was a big rally out there. Is Manipur's problem now spreading into Mizoram also? And some ATs have come here.
You see, it is very unfortunate. The rally organized by the peoples, that is okay. That is okay in a sense, democracy. But involvement of a chief minister on that particular rally, I think it is not nice.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 and I'm Poonam Burde. And the story we're tracking at this hour comes from Karnataka, from Udupi, where a few days ago there was a controversy over certain girls being filmed by their classmates. It was a prank is what the accused first said. They were then suspended by the college. After a delay of over a week, then an FIR was filed in that particular case. An FIR that was filed by the Udupi police on a suo motu basis. But the investigation really hasn't progressed much after that. Why was there a delay is the question that many in the state are now asking, including the BJP. It's all appeasement politics, says the BJP, and this entire issue has now taken a political turn. Listen in to some reactions that are coming in, because now the NCW team also went to Udupi to take stock of what exactly transpired and to unravel the mystery and the truth of what actually happened in the medical college there.
Right now we are here at Freedom Park in Bengaluru, where Mahila Morcha are staging a protest against the alleged Udupi video case. Remember, on July 20th, this case came to light, where 3 girls were suspended for allegedly filming students, other students, and they were suspended from the college. And also the SP gave a clarification that no other videos were found and in their mobile phones, which were confiscated and were not circulated in any WhatsApp community group, as claimed by the BJP. But BJP is stating that there is a larger conspiracy behind this, and that's the reason why these 3 girls belonging to a particular community filmed the other students, and they are circulating it in another WhatsApp community group. So that's what the BJP had to say, and they are staging a protest here in Udupi as well, and here in Bengaluru, and they are demanding the arrest of these 3 girls and accusing the Congress government of shielding these 3 individuals to ensure that they appease a particular community. That's what the BJP had to say.
NCW has come here on the basis of a complaint which was sent to us. Sir, accusations will be there. We'll have to wait. We can't just go by the accusations. We can't go by what somebody says. There's something called evidence, and we'll have to wait for that. If there are rumors of hidden cameras in the toilets, please understand there's nil. Nothing to it. Zilch. There's a rumor which is going around, and there are false videos which have been going around that there are hidden cameras. It's an institution and there cannot be any hidden cameras. So please do not follow these kind of stories.
Harish, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Now, Harish, initially there was no complaint that was filed because the victims did not want to file a complaint, is what the police had come out and said. But then they ended up filing a suo motu FIR. The girls have been booked, 3 of them. We're given to understand the college authority has also been booked over this issue. But where exactly does the investigation now stand?
Well, there are 2 aspects in this investigation. One is recording the statements of these girls and also the mahajur that happens at the spot of this incident. One. Second, that phone becomes crucial because there has to be a FSL lab which will analyze that phone, what has been deleted, what has not been deleted, what has been shot on that video, if there was anything that was shared from that phone to anybody else. Because remember, these are the allegations made by certain individuals. So that has to be the clinching evidence to really come out with the facts on what really happened, where was this shot, were there other videos which were shot, and was it shared at all? Because these are 3 crucial allegations being made on social media by individuals, and the police perhaps will focus on these aspects. And Udupi police telling us that that's one of the main reason why they have filed this case, because then they can officially record statements and also get this phone, seize this phone, and officially get the FSL lab to analyze it. And perhaps after that there will be some sort of a clear-cut idea about this case. Right now the police saying too much of rumor mongering happening on social media, and they will need some time before they answer all these questions that have come up.
And it's not just rumour mongering that's happening in the digital space. The BJP is also upping the ante, isn't it? It has taken an entirely political narrative, because the BJP says that the FIR wasn't filed and the case was completely dismissed by the police initially because this is nothing but appeasement politics of the Congress government.
Well, the BJP is saying that it's continuation of appeasement politics of the Congress. They are saying it's a repeat of Siddaramaiah government 1.0, and they're saying back then cases against PFI was dropped. Now in the last 2 weeks we've had incidents where the Home Minister has refused to call terror suspects arrested by his own department as terrorists, instead wanting to just call them accused. Then we have seen Udupi case, they're saying even there the police have been found slacking because they didn't want to go after 3 Muslim girls, is what the BJP says. And it adds to what has happened yesterday, with the Home Minister coming out and referring a letter written by his fellow MLA to his own department, asking them to check if there were individuals who were not guilty, who've been booked in DJLE, KJLE case and other riot cases during BJP's tenure. So it adds to the narrative that the BJP has built against Siddaramaiah and the Congress over the last few years, especially after Siddaramaiah's decision to celebrate the Tipu Jayanti.
Right, Harish, do stay on with me. As Prakash of the BJP joining us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us. You're on CNN News 18. The FIR has been filed. The investigation is now progressing. But there's a lot of political war of words that we're seeing over this case. Do you think that's casting a shadow on the investigation itself? Mr. Prakash? We'll try and reconnect that line. I believe we have some audio issues with BJP's S. Prakash, but this has taken a completely political turn. We saw the BJP hit the streets in protest, not just in Udupi, but BJP leaders staged a protest outside the Home Minister's residence in the state in Bengaluru as well. The state government on its part is saying that their police will not be forced into doing something just because there is political pressure. The case is going as per it's supposed to go and the investigation will be done. Now, the NCW's team also landed up in Udupi today. Khushbu Sundar of the NCW took stock of the situation. She tried to put to rest some of the rumors that have been doing the rounds as far as the videos going viral, as far as there being hidden cameras inside the washrooms in the medical college. All of those rumors are nothing but rumors is what the NCW also came out and said, to allay the fears of the students and of the parents, and also to quell the kind of protests that we have seen not just in Udupi like I pointed out, but even in Bengaluru. Harish, my colleague, continues to be with us, but let me get in Ashok Gowda of the BJP first. Mr. Gowda, we've seen the kind of political noise, the kind of protest that the BJP has undertaken both in Udupi and in Bengaluru. Don't you think this would overshadow the actual investigation?
No, it's about see, the shadowing was done by the police, SP of Udupi, the Home Minister of Karnataka and the college authorities. So we are, because of us and we are, because of we have been highlighting the issue and the seriousness of the issue, this issue is coming out. Otherwise, this could have been shadowed by the SP of Udupi and the Home Minister of Karnataka. Because we are doing this, and in fact, the girl in the protest came and she said she's a student of the college and she is currently the student of the college. She is also studying there. She said that in 6 months back it was done. The same incident was done and nothing had happened. And students had raised concerns and college authorities had shadowed it out and nothing had happened, no action had taken. And in fact, she also says that it was shared with some people outside the college and probably they might be related to terrorist activities and other things. And there is a conspiracy behind all these things. Till the investigation is done in all angles, including the terrorist angle and including the similarities like Ajmer 92, till then we will continue to protest on the streets of Karnataka.
Sure. Mr. Gowda, do stay on with us. Congress's Sanket Yanagi also joining us here on this broadcast. Mr. Yanagi, if you heard what the BJP has been saying, that this is a conspiracy, there's a larger conspiracy at play and that needs to be investigated. But unfortunately, the police and the government is quick to brush aside the entire case altogether.
It is not just that, according to them. Now the member of the National Commission for Women, Mrs. Khushbu Sundar, has already made a statement that there is no secret video or the hidden camera as such. And if that is the case, are they denying the fact that it is a statement made by the responsible person from the responsible authority? In one way, they say that it is the conspiracy involved. In another way, they say that Congress is indulging itself in an appeasement politics. So the BJP is totally out of its control of frustration, and because of which it is behaving so. And so we can only say that it is showing its bankruptcy of ideas, bankruptcy of morality, bankruptcy of ideals. So it is indulging itself in the communal issues rather than the issues concerning the general public and the development. Now the incident having been reported, the police have taken charge of the investigation. The FIR has been registered. Investigation is already in progress. Students have been already asked to come. And that being the case of an investigation, why the BJP is trying to influence the investigation and derail the investigation to a different angle. So BJP is not believing itself or believing the law of the land. It is not allowing the law enforcement authorities to investigate or to function independently. So BJP, wherever not in power, it is indulging in such practices which is detrimental to the interest of the nation. That's it.
Sure. So the probe is on. There is not more to read into it. Let's not make this political, is what the state government says. An argument the BJP does not want to buy. The political fight there continues. But I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. We'll keep a track of that big story and much more here on CNN News 18. But for now, slipping into a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Brought to you. You know, I respect him as a senior, but he has gone beyond the ethics as a CM, and as a CM he should not interfere in other state affairs. Me too. When something has happened in Assam without the consent of the Assam CM, I cannot intervene or interfere. When something has happened in Mizoram without the consent of the Chief Minister, I cannot say anything, because that is the protocol, and just we are within India, we have to respect each other. But the attitude which shown by Zoramthanga senior.
Will you speak to him, or will you inform this to the central government?
No, I don't. I talked with one honorable minister regarding the what is happening in Mizoram, and I could not get his line, but I got one line from one of the minister, and I convey.
Minister of Mizoram.
Minister of Mizoram, one Nano. I call him and I convey my message to him to keep sharp, this and that.
So another one question is, there are so many bunkers by the civilians, from both these sides. People with arms, they are there. What are you doing to stop this? Because until and unless disarm things are made, things will not fall in place.
No, we have
so many checking posts by common people.
We have jointly the central government and the state government forces, security forces, jointly destroyed many bunkers, both hill and valley, and we will continue to destroy. We will not allow any kind of bunker in the hills, either in the valley. Thank you.
Kamalika, my colleague, joining us, getting us the latest on ground. Kamalika, the Chief Minister there allaying fears, saying that the situation is getting better, but also talking about how this issue has now spread beyond the borders of Manipur into other states.
And the big question is, he has lashed out on the Chief Minister of Mizoram. He has said that Honorable Zoramthanga does not have any right to, as a Chief Minister, to go into a rally. And he has also questioned that how come the Chief Minister of Mizoram gets involved in issues of Manipur. So it is clearly now not only the case of Manipur, now it is also clearly seen that the Manipur Chief Minister is hitting out in his counterpart in Mizoram, and he is saying that he does not have any right to interfere into Manipur. And that is another very big point in his interview when he spoke to us, with us exclusively, that that in no way Mizoram CM can get into this thing. So this is a very big statement by the Chief Minister of Manipur, where he says to CNN News 18 that he questions that how Zoramthanga, being the Chief Minister of Mizoram, gets himself involved into Manipur affairs. Can any other Chief Minister do it? And he has also reached out to a couple of ministers in Mizoram. He tried to reach out to Zoramthanga, that's what he told us. So it's a very big statement, because things were like that in Mizoram, this rally took place. Some of the Métis of who stays in Mizoram, they were evacuated to Imphal. All these things were going. Amidst all these things, this fight is now clear, and the fight is not in Manipur, but the fight is also now between, obviously the Manipur Chief Minister lashing out to Zoramthanga is a very big point.
And when you asked him about whether he had spoken to his Mizoram counterpart, the Chief Minister Zoramthanga, he said he hadn't been able to get in touch with him. This all comes in the backdrop of the comments that were made 2 days ago by the Chief Minister of Mizoram, where he said that a temporary painkiller is not enough. We need a permanent solution, and the centre needs to look into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And there where he is trying to say, the Biren Singh is trying to say that who is he to make such comments? If something happens in Mizoram, then the Manipur Chief Minister will not speak on that. So why is he speaking on that? That is the thing. On the other hand, still the big question is so many arms, so many ammunition, so many checkposts, so many bunkers by civilians. That tough question was also asked by CNN News 18 to Biren Singh, where he said that the central and the state government, they're trying to dismantle all these bunkers and checkposts. But the fact remains that on ground in Manipur, there are various checkposts that have been made by civilians. So one big thing, definitely, Manipur CM lashing out on the Mizoram CM because of this rally and the fact that the Chief Minister himself was there in the rally. Second important thing is obviously this bunkers and this arms. What is the CM doing in it? That was a big question which we asked to him, and his answer was this. And along with that, another big thing which came up is definitely he's trying to make some legislative committee, has made some legislative committee. They will try to reach out, but things are not okay in ground, though there is no untoward incident. But there was this firing yesterday in More that he mentioned. But obviously this exclusive interview which we did with Biren Singh, the big statement coming out from the Manipur CM is that he directly lashes out, he directly hits out to Zoramthanga, the Mizoram CM.
And it's a super exclusive. It's an interview with the Chief Minister of Manipur, N. Biren Singh. CNN News 18's Komalika Sengupta has spoken with the Chief Minister of Manipur even as the state remains on edge. The Chief Minister there going on to say that the Mizoram CM should not have interfered in the issue of Manipur, and that he has spoken to his counterpart from Mizoram to ensure that there is no panic, there is no fear, and most of all, there is no fear-mongering.
There has been protest in Aizawl. There has been incidents in More. Manipur still is not normal. We have with us Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh Ji. Sir, when will Shanti, when will peace come in Manipur, and why peace is an unknown thing now in Manipur?
No, you see, Kamalka, peace is almost returning. You know, last 10-20 days, no unwanted incident was taken place.
Welcome back. Multiple parts in the country, unfortunately, have faced nature's fury. Monsoons have wreaked havoc across several states, including those states of the hill states of Uttarakhand and Himachal. We've seen heavy rains, we've seen waterlogging in different parts of the country, including in parts of Maharashtra, including now in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh as well. There's an alert that has been issued in several of these states. CNN News 18 is taking stock of the situation on ground, of how bad it is, what the precautionary measures that have been put in place by respective state governments. Take a look.
Thursday morning is causing hassles, commute hassles for people in Mumbai. While I.N.D.I.A had predicted that there will be a red alert in Mumbai until 8:30 a.m. this morning. However, what's been seen is that the fact that there has not been enough rains ever since last evening. But of course, it has been pouring, it's drizzling ever since last night. It is not enough rain to call it a red alert. But considering that over the last 1 week, it's constantly raining in Mumbai and parts of Maharashtra. We're here at the Eastern Express Highway, and you can see how there is traffic snarls on the Eastern Express Highway. Now this route that we speak of is a route between Chembur and Kurla. On my left, in fact, is our low-lying areas of Chembur, where there is usually waterlogging, but right now, on having gone to those locations as well, there was no waterlogging in that area as well. But here, on the main highway, there is major traffic stall. You see all the way from here until Kurla, the signal, there is slow-moving traffic. It could take almost anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes to cross approximately 1.5 to 2 kilometers of stretch right here. This is, in fact, we're seeing as the after effect of rains Today, however, there is an orange alert in Mumbai.
Yamuna continues to flow above the danger level mark here in the national capital. I am standing nearby Purana Lohe Ka Pul, which has recorded a water level at 205.75. If I can show you the visuals, there you see the flow of Yamuna and also the Purana Lohe Ka Pul, on which road traffic has been suspended and rail movement is on with a restricted speed. As far as predictions are concerned, so it has been said that water level will further rise and can go beyond 206.15. A yellow alert has been issued by I.N.D.I.A, which says that areas in the national capital can witness rain activities, and we can see light to moderate rain in the national capital, which can further affect the water level. As far as this particular danger level breach is concerned, so it has been said by CWC that it is primarily because of the rain activities in the upper catchment areas and also because of the local sources. We have water inflow from Haryana and Delhi, and this is why this level is constantly rising and can go beyond 206.15. As far as evacuation process is concerned, so Delhi government has evacuated thousands of people who were living in low-lying areas.
Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Rihatul and you're watching Viewpoint. The poll bugle in Rajasthan has been sounded and the note is a fiery one. As the day today began with the state's Chief Minister, Mr. Ashok Gehlot's 7:40 a.m. tweet accusing the Prime Minister's office of removing his 3-minute speech from the event that marked Prime Minister Narendra Modi launching various development projects in the state's Sikar. The PMO, however, was quick to contradict the Chief Minister's claim and assert that it was the CM's office, in fact, that had said that Gehlot will not be able to join the event. Now, this further attracted a tweet by the Chief Minister in response, stating that his office informed the government that